There we go. We're live. Saturday morning. We're going to have a little man cave discussion. Let's see. We've actually got a crowd on both sides. We got a crowd over on Gun Channel side and a crowd on the YouTube side. Hey guys, good morning. What is up? What is up? This is the Caliber Corner. We're back to our usual time at 2 early in the morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. This is episode number 43, where today we're going to talk about a few different topics. We've got man cave essentials and hunting large game with handguns. Now, we've actually got a little mini topic we're going to address with that. And those two topics, guys, those actually came from suggestions from my Instagram post for the 8,000 subscriber giveaway. So Rich White did have a question, which we'll get to eventually. We've got 10mm semi-automatic versus big bore revolver as a force gun. Let that one marinate for a while. And also Patriot in the Dark with interesting items for the man cave / conversation pieces. And I thought, let's have a little man cave discussion, because you can interweave some firearms in that one if you want to. Maybe you want to keep your man cave as just a place of relaxation, maybe a place to chill, watch some games or whatnot on TV. Maybe you want to make it your primary gun room. It's your man cave is pretty much whatever you make into it. So before we get into that discussion of the importance of the man cave as a place for a man to go. And remember, man cave is not a safe space because a real man deals with his problems. So on that note, let's go on over to the Gun Channel side and see who's with us. We've got the mighty G-Webs joining us over there on the Gun Channel side. Good morning, G-Webs. We got Paper Plane Crash joining in right now. And we're going to share his description of his man cave with us. He's got a few ideas and stuff that'll work with him, and a few questions for us we're going to throw out there. Over on the YouTube side, we've got a pretty lively crowd already. G-Webs is over there also. Nightwolf is joining in with us. Patriot in the Dark is with us today too. Tardot's with us. Good morning, Tardot. Zinger's out there hanging out. Frank Hellman, good morning, sir. Glad to see the giveaway package made it to you. Good stuff. Jim Burgess is with us. I'm not on the panel. I'm about to get on the road. All right, man, you have a safe trip. David Bowling is with us, or Bowling. Get all these right here. Midnight Range TM is going on. He's out there. And Vandalistica Vlog says, yow. Vandal, I've been trying to keep up with all your posts, man. You've got some good content on your channel. You guys check out Vandal's channel over there on YouTube. And Vandal, we need to get you signed up on Gun Channels. If you're not over there yet, you need to get a channel over there. Just like everybody else watching this, get over to gunchannels.com, get your account. It's free. Join the gun community. Awesome place to go and hang out with everyone. So Jim Burgess says, more Travi. Yes. Patrick G put a poop icon. So, hey, if you're enjoying this morning's podcast while having a little bit of a physical catharsis, good morning to you too, sir. Mike Ozzy Osbourne is with us. Good deal. Good deal. So we're going to go ahead and introduce the panel. Squibby had to step away for just a few minutes, but he said he would be back. Not a lot of panel joining us today. It's a busy Saturday. Stuff's going on. This is the weekend of high school graduations. This is the weekend of Mother's Day. I know that a lot of you might not be able to join us. Maybe you can listen a little bit later on, or the panel, we might have a few more people joining in. But we've got another loyal Nebraskan with us. We got Sandhills Shooter over there. So Sandhills, why don't you just fill us in? What's going on in your channel? How are you doing? And what is the weather like in your part of the state? Which is ironically about 3 hours north of me.
Yeah, north and east a little bit. Go Big Red, huh? We Nebraskans got to stick together. Weather is
there's not a lot of us at all.
No, it's probably and especially not a lot of us on gun channels. We need more Nebraskans to join up here.
We do.
And I think we need more Nebraskans to sound off in these chats and let us know you're out there too. Weather is 100% cloudy. It rained a little bit in the night, not a bunch, but it looks like it. I haven't looked at the weather to see what the radar looks like, but it looks like we may be getting some more here before the day's over. As far as what else is going on, I have to clock into work here in about 23 minutes, so I'm going to be with you for a while, and I'm going to hang out as long as I can, but if I disappear, you'll know why. Other than that, things are going well. Working on getting my my giveaway built. You've been helping me a little bit with that behind the scenes on how to make that happen and make it a random drawing. So if you're not subscribed to me on Instagram and Facebook, make sure you go and find Sandhills Shooter on both of those. And I'm going to be putting up my giveaway info here before the end of next week.
We got Midnight Range is going to have a super busy morning this morning, so he's not going to be able to join us. But he said he's going to be listening. He'll be with us in spirit. So again, the weather in Nebraska. I just got to talk about this real quick. If you guys ever want variety, if you get sick and tired of stuff, John, did you guys have that fun little, I don't know, what do you call it, little tsunami roll through the other day? We had like 70-mile-an-hour winds. We have these like intense microstorms that just blow through. Did you guys get nailed by that the other day? It was like a hurricane came through, man.
I know some people around me did, but where I live, right in the center of town, we hardly ever get wind. If it's windy at my house, then it's probably a tornado on the outside of town. I mean, I'm pretty well protected by that. And we haven't really had much as far as like just a flat out gully washer rain yet here. But I mean, I know a lot of areas, around the state have had. But yeah, I don't know if people in other states say things like this, but in Nebraska, it's a common thing to hear. If you don't like the weather when you wake up, don't worry, because it's going to be different by 4 o'clock anyway.
Yeah, where we are in the central part of the state, we get affected by everybody. The crap coming off the mountains, the stuff coming out of the south, the cold coming out of the north. And people complain about wind. Man, you don't know wind until you live out here. 25, 30 miles an hour is common. Like, you just get numb to it. You don't even notice it. But people come out here, they're like, oh, my God, it's so windy. But anyway, and as Nebraskans, we don't have much else to talk about except for Cornhusker football, hunting, and the weather. That's pretty much it. So that shows you that's why we're a flyover state. I think we need to change that image, though. I think
we're not a flyover state. I've been doing a lot of videos here this last week from my vehicle, just driving through the countryside. I think a lot of people didn't realize how pretty and green Nebraska is, and it's not flat. But you don't realize that if you just drive through on the interstate, it is flat because you're driving in a river valley right next to a river. So that's going to be flat. But get off the interstate. We got a beautiful state, and I think we're the best kept secret in the union.
And we do have an elevation point that is higher than Denver, elevation-wise. We do exceed the 1 mile height of the Mile High City. So you can actually go to a spot in Nebraska. There's a spot you can stand. You are at above 1 mile in elevation, which is pretty cool. So because I think we sit around 3,000 feet. But anyway, what's coming up on your channel? You've been doing a lot of cool live podcasts, guys. If you want just something fun to listen to, just some chat, just something to check out. Sandals has been doing live podcasts when he's on the road. You get some nice scenery. You can see how wide open it is in Nebraska, how awesome it is. What's coming up on your channel? What are your plans? What do you got going on?
What is this plans you talk about here?
Oh, no, I mean, you're going to do a few maybe
I don't know what that means.
Going to bust out that Browning? Or are you going to keep doing some podcasts? Are you going to do maybe a set weekly show? Do you have anything planned for right now?
I'd love to figure out a time for a set weekly show. I just don't know for sure. The times that I have available, there's already stuff going, and I don't want to walk on anybody else. So I don't know for sure if I can commit to something weekly. In the times that are open is going to be my problem. As far as that's why I've been, middle of the afternoon or late morning or whatever, if we're on the road, then I do kind of like to just go live and people can hang out and chat or whatever. So I do get some ideas out there. I made one the other day that I said, if I don't go live and just, rant about some of this stuff, I'm probably never going to get that video made otherwise.
Yeah.
And so I just went ahead and just did it off the cuff, and my stuff, it's not high quality, and the chat's not always real high quality. And if I'm driving alone, I miss a lot of the comments, when I'm driving. But I invite anybody to come on and hang out with me. And I've got a couple guys like Night Wolf. He's kind of like my shadow. Every time I turn around, he's there. So I've got a few other people that tend to jump on all the time and hang out with me. So that it's nice. I'm really enjoying getting to know people in this community, and just the Gun Channel's crew in general there. So you guys are awesome. Being fairly new on the scene, I mean, I feel like everybody on Gun Channels is a Nebraskan. The way that we just welcome people with open arms.
We do. Yeah.
We're super friendly, and that's how everybody is on the Gun Channels community. So it's been awesome. And if you've ever been thinking about making some videos, just turn your camera on and go. You don't have to know what you're doing. You'll figure it out as you go. I have.
Oh yeah, I mean, just have fun with it, and just be ready for the feedback people are going to give you. Be ready for the comments. Be ready for the thumbs downs and all that stuff. That's just part of communicating with the world. That's just something that you got to comment.
You want to see funny comments? Go to my big video and read some of the comments that people have made about my breaking news video, because those are funny. And I have to have a thick skin because there's people that are calling me everything but a white person. But at the same time, I laugh at them when I read them. And it's funny because most of the time I can tell that people haven't watched the whole video. So if you're going to watch it, watch to the end.
Yeah, I screw up a lot sometimes, and I'll make a comment on a video before the video finishes, and I feel like a total idiot. So I'll go back and either delete my comment because it was unwarranted. But I love what G-Webs does. He'll have episodes where he'll just sit there and answer viewer questions and comments, and I think it's cool he does it. I like to do that too, and I'm not trying to put anybody down or make fun of people, but some of the stuff people say, I don't know if it's because maybe they're in foreign countries or something and they're using a translator to communicate, because they'll say stuff and it's like, what? Or they'll just rip on you and they'll just completely. This is kind of fun. It's kind of fun. You do have to have a thick skin, because those first couple times they catch you off guard. Trolls know how to operate, and they live for that stuff, and so you really got to be ready for it. But anyway, enough of our problems. We do have a few more. We have a few more guys that joined in here with us, guys and gals. We've got E-Rock is with us, peeps. Jim Burgess. A lot of guys are commenting on the YouTube side. They're saying, yeah, the weather's the same way where we live. Texas can be like that too. So Jim's saying that. By the way, we also have Yoder joining us. Yoder, Texas is with us this morning. Good morning, sir. Gun loving Grandpa Stanley. There you go. That's definitely got to get the YouTube handle of the day award, I think.
That sounds like somebody I want in my family right there.
Gun loving Grandpa Stanley. I think we all got a gun loving Grandpa Stanley somewhere. A gun loving uncle, right? Boob Sweat's joining us. Good morning, Boob. I just can't say the whole name because I keep the show G-rated. All right, so we've already got a lot of stuff pouring out here. So the man cave, again, you're very much limited with your physical location. You are limited with your resources. For a lot of guys, and maybe there's some ladies watching this, I want you to understand the idea behind the man cave. And it's not that women don't. My wife has a woman cave. What do they call a woman's man cave? There's something for it. I don't know if there's She Shack. Okay, my wife has one upstairs. We converted a guest bedroom into her craft hobby room where she crafts and makes things, right? So that's kind of that's her decompression area. That's where she can go and make stuff and put stuff out. She's got work tables up there and stuff like that. The man cave can be maybe a place to get some stuff done, a place to work. It can also be a place to chill. Maybe your man cave is a room with a TV, a coffee table, and a recliner. John, okay, we'll go through, each of us will share kind of our man cave, but Mr. Matt's joining us. Good morning, Mr. Matt. How are you doing, sir?
What's going on, man?
Man, we're just taking it easy. We're gonna have a man cave discussion. Now, Matt, I've got to be honest with you, all right? Your room was the inspiration for this. I just want to say that right now. When I looked at what I had sitting around, and you got the targets, you got the comic stuff sitting around, the guns. So I got to give props to you because you influenced my man cave. Because before this, I had a table in here and I had gun cleaning supplies, and that was it. It wasn't very fun. I was kind of afraid about having some of the stuff on the camera. What inspired you to make your man cave, Matt? Or is your broadcast room your man cave? Is that your man cave or not? Your broadcast room where you do your live shows? Is that where that's your chill room, right? Okay, so what?
Yeah, that's what I do everything in. I spend half my days in there. So whether I'm just chilling on the computer or editing or doing videos or whatever.
Hiding from the kids.
Yeah.
All right, so what are some of the essentials that you think you have to have in a man cave? Now, we can also throw like interesting discussion pieces. Maybe if somebody comes into this man cave, you might have something that always brings up a point of discussion with people. What is it for you? Because I could think of something you have in your man cave, but what is it for you? What is that? What are the essentials? What do you have to have? What's necessary?
Oh, well, I mean, a man cave can be anything, really. I mean, obviously you've got, I mean, look, the whole point of the man cave is just where you can sit there and just have a room where you can be surrounded by the things that you like, whatever that may be for you.
That's it.
For me, it's guns, it's ammo, it's comic books. I've got, people don't see it, but I've got a whole shelf of action figures in there. It's my workbench and it's my computer. Like, that's the room in a nutshell. It's all the stuff that I like, that I enjoy. And it's just a room I can go in and just kind of chill and do whatever. And it works out really well for videos. So
yeah. What do you ever have anybody that like walks in that room? Is there something that catches people's attention every time you have guests over, friends or families, or anything that when they ever go into that room that, man, what's this or what's that? Or
well, having a 4-foot Ninja Turtle in your room doesn't.
Dude, sometimes that gets more attention than the podcast. No offense, but that's like all people talk about is the damn Ninja Turtle. We're trying to have some life-changing discussion about Alfie. Okay, and people are like, dude, the Ninja Turtle's gonna kill you. I'm like, oh my god.
So, that's just because it keeps inching closer to me.
I swear to God, you got one of your daughters back there pushing that. Oh, you need to do that in one of the just have it slowly move across, like put it on a skateboard and move it from left to right during a podcast and see it. Just ignore it, act like you don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to say for me, it's Lucille. Lucille's like, is that a real bat with barbed wire around it? I don't know if you noticed this, but I think it was like the Gun Collective did an unboxing. They actually ordered one with barbed wire on it. I can't even imagine what they paid for. Did they say what the price was or not?
I think they got it for free.
Probably some promo. Did they say what?
I just remember when he unboxed, and I like the Gun Collective videos. I'm like, been there, done that. Yeah. Matt's already done this. So, yeah, somebody's manufacturing these things. This wasn't Matt. Yours was homemade, right?
Oh yeah, no, I went and I bought the Louisville Slugger at a flea market, found an old one, and got some. I got on Amazon and ordered I think I've still got a bunch of it. I ordered like the least I could order was like 50 feet of barbed wire.
Yeah,
and I only used like 20 of it.
Crafted.
Yeah, and I sat there and tight wrapped that thing around, and I got scars to prove it.
There you go. I mean, that's definitely, it's nice to have something that catches people's attention. So to action figure or not to action figure in the man cave, that is the question. We got some disturbing comments popping up on the YouTube side. Patrick G is saying, yeah, action figures are definitely dolls. And David Bowling is backing them up. Action figures equal dolls. LOL. No, they're collectible figurines. You want to see what these dolls can bring on the market these days when you put them up for sale. I bought an entire bedroom set and a living room set off selling my Transformers. I know I sold my soul, but at $150 a pop, I mean, I made thousands of dollars selling my dolls on eBay.
Optimus, no.
Yes, I got $175 for Optimus, and he was used. Okay, just because I had his fist, I had his little fist. That was the selling point for the person buying.
Oh yeah, because those things get lost.
And let's not forget that buying these things, it's a futile attempt at capturing our youth. When you have that doll in your hands, it's like being a little kid again. It's like having that toy at a time when you're happy before you got strapped down with the problems of life. So I think it's okay to have action figures in there. I've got Star Wars stuffed animals sitting over there on the bookshelf right now. So
I just bought my wife. I just bought my wife a fucking a Porg. I just bought my wife a Porg for Mother's Day. Yeah,
I gave mine one for Christmas.
I mean, she's been raving about Porg since that damn movie, and I finally found one yesterday. I finally found one, and it's the one that's got it's all furry and fleshy and everything, but it's got the suction cup hands, so you can hang it in the window, and it comes with a sticker that says Porg on board. So she's gonna have that on her car.
That's the exact one I bought my wife for Christmas. But the thing is, I went and watched that movie without her right before Christmas, and I saw those, and I just knew that she was going to want one when she saw the movie. But then we never made it back to the theater before they took it away in the theater here, and it didn't last as long as it should have. And so then I had to wait for it to come out on video before she could watch the movie so that I could give her last Christmas present. She didn't get that until after it came out on video. It's the exact same one that you just described, though. She's got it up in her car window right now.
Oh yeah, my wife loved it. What I did this week is I've been giving my wife a little present every day leading up to Mother's Day, and so I gave that one to her yesterday, and she was just lost her shit. She lost.
That was it. I need to try to pick one of those up. That's a good idea, man. We've got a lot of suggestions already popping out right now. Paper Plane Crash over on the Gun Channel side. He says, my man cave is wall to wall with guitar racks and hangers and old fashioned gun cabinets. I've run out of room. That's a good one. Lots of gun safes and gun lockers, so much so that there's not even room. Over on the YouTube side, there's a lot of guys mentioning ammo cans. Heavy metal is a man cave essential. That's what Vandal says. Vandal, do you mean like tungsten and lead, or are you talking about like rock posters and stuff like that? Because I'm all for it,
Oh, come on, it's got to be AC/DC.
The movie, because I've got a VHS tape on my reload bench. I've got the Cherry 2000 VHS tape.
Yeah,
and that's kind of like my little man cave knickknack thing. So
now that being said, look, Heavy Metal the movie, the first one is far superior, but the second one, what was it? Heavy Metal 2000 had the better movie posters, so that's also acceptable.
Okay. I don't know if he's just talking about rock related stuff. Oh, sounds about lead. I'm not sure what he's saying there. What else do we have here? We mentioned ammo cans, gun items.
Maybe
action figures are popping up. What's that?
He means bullets for reloading or lead ingots.
Sounds about lead by Lead Belly. Okay, I understand now. All right, cool. Yeah, sometimes you have kind of a theme in your room. So what's that?
Can I just ask real quick here? I want to go back to Matt's action figures. He's taking so much crap over.
Collectible figurines.
Are these like on a shelf set up, displayed out of the package, or are they still in their packaging?
Oh, they're out of the package. If you're leaving your shit in the package, you're a fucking poser, man.
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. Now you lower the value if you ever have to sell them to pay bills.
If it's a financial investment, then you leave it in the package. If you bought it because you loved that whatever as a kid. Then you open it and play with it and you set it up.
And it's not worth as much. You're right, but it's not. Then it's not a financial investment only.
But
Then you're a true.
I will tell you this. First of all, modern action figures are not sold to children anymore. They are sold to 40-year-old men who remember the 80s. Okay.
That ain't okay.
That's the same thing with Hot Wheels, man.
Keep that in mind. Today's modern packaging for action figures is completely reusable. They no longer put them on the bubble cards. They put them in a small box that has a tab you can open, and you can put that shit right back in when you no longer want it on your shelf. As long as you save the packaging, which I do, that stuff will always, so you can pop it right back in and it retains its value. And some of this modern day stuff is ridiculously expensive. Like nowadays, these figures sell for 10 to 20 bucks a piece. Okay, whether depending on what kind of figure you're collecting, right? But then immediately, because they short run these things, and some of them are only sold at Walmart, and some are only sold at CVS, and some are only sold at Walgreens or Target or whatever, you can almost literally immediately go home after finding one that you don't normally see at Walmart. Go home, look it up on eBay, and it's selling for, you just paid 18 bucks for it, it's selling for 60 online, still in the package.
Yeah.
You can literally, if you're smart, you can, I mean, there are people that have whole eBay stores, and that's all they do. And that's how they make a living. Is they go around, they hunt the stuff locally and sell it online.
Yeah. I do have a few that are still in the package, but I also have ones that were out of the package. I bought two. Like I've got an original Sergeant Rock action figure from the early 80s. I think they're made by Galoob. And I've got, I don't have it out of the package, but for some reason I bought a Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. And then I got a couple starting lineup little sports guys, I've got two of those. Like in a box still that I bought back in the 90s just because there were teams I used to watch back in the day. But yeah, for the most part, but then I sit there and say, if I didn't open this stuff up and take it out of the package and sell it today, I probably could have retired by now. So, yeah. Let's see a few more recommendations. There's some good recommendations here. Now Vandal is saying throw pillows and dampness are definitely necessary in a man cave. I'm in a basement. It's not too damp down here. The humidity is actually very minor because it's so dry where I live. But yeah, that's definitely one. Let's see, more sandbags. We have sandbags that keeps popping up in the basement. Yes, that works good. Try to see what else there. So, when it comes to the man cave, again, it's whatever you want to make it into. I like to use mine just kind of as my media room for YouTube. I use it as my, although I do all my gun stuff from the kitchen counter, which is kind of ironic. I should have, the part of it is I don't have better lighting down here, which is why I don't do a lot of tabletop reviews in the man cave itself. I usually do them upstairs.
Dude, I can tell you exactly where to get really good lighting.
Where, a light bulb?
No. I have, you never see them because they're never on camera, but I have studio lights that you can get them on eBay really cheap. You can get them separately, or you can get them in a green. I originally got mine in a green screen kit, and because I was toying around with green screen for a year or so on YouTube, and I just got tired of it, and it's not worth the trouble or the effort of editing those videos. But you can buy them separately, and they're fairly inexpensive studio lights. They come with the bulbs and everything you'll need.
Yeah.
And you can buy them for 50 to 75 bucks for a set of like 3 of these big lights. And it'll come with it, which just the bulbs themselves are worth more than that because these bulbs sell for 15, 20 bucks a piece.
Yeah.
And it'll come with everything you need, and you can light the shit out of anything with those.
Oh, definitely. I need to try that because it gets a little old being upstairs because I always have to move the animals kind of into another room, and I have to, not the cat, but the dog, because he always wants to bark and stuff during the videos and stuff like that. So it's nice to have that isolation too as part of the man cave philosophy. All right, so Sandhills, moving on here, buddy. You said you don't have a dedicated man cave right now, but you'd like to in the future. What kind of an idea would you put into your man cave if you were going to make one up? Or do you have a man cave?
Well, if I could build the perfect man cave, it would have, couches and a big screen TV and a pool table and a wet bar.
Oh, there you go.
And gun safes. I mean, it would have, the computer desk. It'd have everything in one room. And people could hang out there, or I could do, videos from there or whatever. It would be the room in the house that, everybody was just kind of naturally drawn to, except for, maybe if my wife had, family over or something. But aside from that, I mean, it'd be where everybody wants to hang out. It'd be the cool room.
Yeah.
Can I point something out here real quick?
Yeah,
just real quick. Something you want to keep in mind. It's very, very important for your man cave. The one sure way to ensure that you have a nice and successful man cave that regardless of what you decide to put in it, what suits your taste. If you want to make sure you have a successful man cave that lasts a long time in your home, you have to ensure that you just give the bedroom to your wife. Turn that into her woman cave. Because if you have a man cave and she feels like she's just got a bedroom that she shares with you, it ain't gonna last long. Eventually, that's gonna be her sewing room or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Okay, so I have fully encouraged my wife. Our bedroom, I just sleep there. That's it. That's her room. Yeah. I have some of my clothes in there in the closet, and I do sleep there. But that's her room, completely. And that way, she's got her space. You have yours, and she never because they'll be like, well, why does he get a whole room for himself? This is bullshit. You encourage that. She has to have her own space, and that way you can have yours peacefully.
There you go. There were a few names for the woman cave that had popped up over on the gun channel side too. We had the hen house was one of them that I think Yoder mentioned, and what was the other one? There was a good one. The what? The
sewing room.
Well, yeah, there was another funny one that somebody put out.
My wife don't sew. I'm the one who knows how to sew.
The Pussy Palace.
Shack. The what?
The Pussy Palace? No?
Hey, whatever works, man. Matt, it's funny before you joined in here, Matt, that was one of the things that happened with my wife. We had two bedrooms on the main floor, guest bedrooms. And my wife goes, she's like, I like a place to do some stuff. And so for about the first 6 months of us living in this house, her stuff was in the man cave on the right side. She had tables laid out, and like the bric-a-brac and craft stuff was like slowly. Remember that part in Akira where Kaneda or Tetsuo starts to turn into a bubbling mass of flesh? It was like starting to take over the man cave. Like fabric was starting to like sit over here hanging off the AR, and like bottles of craft glue were starting to pop up next to Deadpool and Snake Eyes. And so I'm like, this has got to stop. And so I said, we're going to convert one of the guest bedrooms to your room. And at first she's like, no, we can keep working with this. I'm like, when you see how much room you're going to get, you're going to love it. And chicks love to move stuff. They love to move stuff. Chicks, I'm talking like a 14-year-old boy. Women like to move stuff. They like to have that ability to customize and put options in their space. So a couple trips to Hobby Lobby, moving stuff upstairs, and then the woman cave was established. And she's got her place where she can go do her stuff. She's got a nice view. She's got sunlight. Us guys don't need that in the basement. So nope. We just need a space where we can be alone, But yeah. So that's a good point, Matt. If you got that, you got to give that extra little bit of space over there too to the significant other, right? I think it's important that you do that. So that's it's definitely a good one. Sandhills, what else do you think? Because I've kind of got that idea in my basement. I don't have the pool table. I think they had one down here at one time, the previous owners, but I like that idea, kind of that relaxation spot, that chill spot. And if you're really good at it too, you can also use that garage as your second man cave. I think I have 2 or 3 man caves on the property. So I will go out to the garage because I got the workbench out there. I actually have an old tube TV with a what is my NES Classic hooked up out there. And I've got a surround sound system in the garage with like a CD player, and I can go out there and just, got the tools out there. Got to have a vise. Got to have a vise out there too to lock.
Now, see, but y'all can do that up there. We can't. You in where I live, you cannot have a successful garage man cave unless it is insulated and air conditioned.
Yeah,
because it's no bueno. All right.
It can be hot here, like in August and stuff, but
it's the same way here, Matt. We got to have not only air conditioning, but we got to have heat too.
Now, see, that's the other side of it, right? Like, you got to worry about that. That thing gets cold as hell in the winter.
I don't do much. Well, I'll put like a one piece, not jumpsuit, but like an insulated coverall, like the overalls on when I go work out in the garage in the wintertime if I'm gonna go do an oil change or something. So yeah, it's only really usable about 6 or 7 months out of the year because it gets really stuffy and hot out there. But out here we've either got a north or south wind constantly, so you can open a window, open the garage. You've always got airflow through the garage, so it's tolerable. But it can get we can get that swamp ass going on that you always talk about too in August. So.
Beer.
Yeah, I got a mini fridge. Oh yes, the mini fridge. I'm glad you brought that up. You got to have a mini fridge in the man cave, or just a fridge.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I've got a fridge in my man cave with a ice dispenser, a water dispenser. Yeah.
Yep. You got to have that. We got the mini fridge down here with the little bar around the corner, and then out in the garage we got the mini fridge out there too. So that's definitely an essential. And check garage sales and stuff, because you can get although the mini fridges now you can buy one at Walmart for like $40 or $50, especially right before school starts. They'll they advertise the mini fridges, and it's amazing what you can get, because back in the day they were $200 or $300 back in the 80s and later. But now you get yourself a mini fridge for relatively inexpensive prices. Definitely something to consider. Oh man, good stuff. Squib, moving on. What's in your man cave? Because you got that whole, now is that reloading room just reloading, or is that your man cave?
Okay, so that would be my man cave, and originally it was where we kept our reptiles, but I managed to use a work table that I've got for reloading, and a gun safe to kind of wall it in. Actually, I think if we had a bigger downstairs, I would put a row of gun safes and make a wall with gun safes, and then you get the storage on top, and it kind of hides it a little bit. But um, yeah, it's mostly for reloading, and two of my safes, and reptiles. But I mean, we got other stuff down there, and the fridge is right next to it, and it's the temperature's pretty good all year round because it's downstairs. It's not quite a basement. We've got a tri-level, so it's sort of like a half basement. It's I mean, I keep all my ammo down there. I keep all my reload supplies. I keep all my spare parts. I got my gunsmithing tools. It's all right there where I need it, and I don't want to say it's the quietest because the stairs come right down from the living room. We have a small house, so you can hear the TV down there. Or if I've got gun channels playing on my phone, I've got a charger hooked up there, so I can plug in my phone and tilt it against one of my reload presses and just do a chat or listen in. So upstairs they can hear me, or I can hear them downstairs. But other than that, though, I mean, it's in a pretty good location, and there's enough room in there that if we've got something we need to just put there temporarily, it's kind of bulky, we can stick it down there, whatnot. I mean, eventually I'd like to have something in a garage or a pole barn, and maybe do, like you're saying, the couch thing or something like that. But for right now, this small house with no attached garage, that's my man cave. It does the job.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think the biggest improvement I made to it was lighting. I went and got inexpensive LED lighting, shop lights at Lowe's or Home Depot.
$40 a piece or whatever. Those things are freaking awesome. So they don't take up as much voltage either. Yeah.
Right. You save on the electric bill, you save on maintenance because they typically last longer, and you get a lot better lighting. Now, I will say this, though. Trying to shoot videos down there, I need backlighting. So maybe that's something I need to invest in. But as far as
that's where those lights, those studio lights that I've got, they're the way they work, they're not, there's a lot of backlight. They provide a lot of ambient light and direct light without creating shadows. And that's something that's important if you're going to be doing videos, especially like tabletop videos. You don't want shadows. You don't want like a direct light bulb. So those studio lights, they come with the filter over them and that kind of thing. So even though they're very strong lights, they don't create a lot of shadows and a lot of sharp angles off for your camera and that kind of stuff.
Did you do a video on those lights?
I've done a general video just on my room where I do videos where the lights are. I said, yeah, these are my studio lights, but I haven't like done specifically anything on those lights.
Well,
but yeah, no, they're real cheap. You can find them all over eBay and Amazon and everywhere else. It's probably the same company that makes them all. They're just simple black stands that they have. Each one will hold 5 bulbs inside, and it's got a black box that comes around, and the inside of the box is looks like almost it's like tinfoil looking, but it's not, and it's just got this white filter cover that goes over the front of it that's just kind of fogs out the light and keeps it from creating harsh shadows or anything. But they're you can get a set of I got my first set of 3 of them with a green screen, and all the green screen crap that I no longer use and ended up getting rid of was like $110. But if they're just the lights, they're like $50 to $70 or give or take for a set of 3 of them. Yeah.
The two things that I would like to see in my man cave is more storage. I've got shelving and things like that, stuff tucked away underneath stuff, behind stuff, above stuff. I can put in some more shelving. I'm going to have to either make something myself or get some industrial shelving because I want something durable. I don't want it to over time sag under the weight or anything like that.
Home Depot.
I want it to look a little industrial, for
Home Depot. Cave. The if you go to Home Depot, they've got they've got those $2 brackets, those stud brackets that you can get, and they're like $2 a piece, and they're real, heavy duty industrial looking. And then you just buy whatever you want to put on top. You can go fancy and get the ones that are that are set up for, that are pre-laminated for shelving, or you can just, like what I did, because you can't really tell, but the two small shelves that I've got on my wall behind me, where I've got Lucille and the other stuff there, those were just chunks of wood that I got at Home Depot, and I just stained them that color. And then they're just, I mean, that thing's just, those shelves, I mean, that thing of wood cost me like $2. And then the brackets that hold them up, that whole section right there cost me like, it was like, I don't know, $6-7
you can spend so much money. A cheap bookshelf at Walmart is like $70 now, $60 now. You could make a really nice stand and shelf for that much money worth of lumber. Even like you said, just take the pieces you find. You don't have to do anything real crazy or real expensive. I'm still using shelves that I had back when I was in college, and I think I paid $30 or $40 for them back in the day.
And now you can put used furniture in the man cave, or you can make it as rugged or as
it can't
nice
match
looking as
either.
you want.
It should not match ever.
No, it should not match. It should look cobbled together or something that you got left over from college or that you bought at a yard sale.
Yep. And a nice solid 70s coffee table that won't break no matter what hits it.
Yeah, no kidding. The other thing that improvement I need for the man cave is get rid of the chair and get a stool.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And I was thinking of either getting, I think they've got a Snap-on branded stool at Sam's Club. I thought I saw that was American made. And I think Hornady on their store, they've got a stool with the Hornady logo that's American made, I believe. I think Ruger might have one too. I know it's been a while since I looked, but I definitely, if I can, if it's in the $100 range and it's made in the USA, I definitely want to get it. But I need to get rid of that. I've got an old office desk chair that needs to go. It's too big. It's in the way. It creaks. All this. I need a stool to set on something. I've got to have it height adjustable because I got to tell you that the height you're setting at definitely helps when you're working a reload press.
Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah, you don't. I was going to say, Harbor Freight has a neat little just swivel stool that's got like flames on it. Looks like they're airbrushed on for like a hot rod, but you don't get the height adjustability. Even on maybe an office chair to consider, because those you can raise them or lower them and they're cushy and comfortable and whatnot.
You can always take an office chair and just take the back off of it to where you have all that adjustment, that you still got the comfort of sitting in an office chair if you don't want the back and the arms. Most office chairs disassemble pretty easily, but now I've got two. I've got a stool in front of my bench, and I've got my office. I've got to have an office chair because I sit at that computer. So I got the computer in that room, and so I don't want to be sitting on a stool every time I sit down there. So I've got to have both. But
here's a question for you guys. This is actually something that this might affect a lot of people. Say you're in an apartment or a really old house. Paper Plane Crash on the Gun Channel side says, my man cave is a room in my single wide trailer. I'd like to get a nice safe, but I've heard heavy safes are not good in trailers, plus the maneuverability issues. Care to address that? Matt, you've had one. What do you want to say about the maneuverability issues? Trailers, do you have to worry about the dead weight screwing up the floor of your home? Can you comment on that at all? What do you need to worry about? Because those some bitches can get up to 400 or 500 pounds. I mean, like not 4 or 5. Well, maybe 400 or 500 pounds.
Well, they get heavier than that once you start putting guns in them. Once you start putting guns in them, they
75. So yeah.
Once you load that sumbitch up with guns, it gets real heavy. Most of your floors in your trailers is
just plywood.
It's a lot of it's
sheet.
Plywood
floor, whatever you call it.
And sometimes it's, I've even seen some that it's that fucking fiberboard or particle board that they use when they manufacture that stuff. It's not high end stuff, and it depends. I mean, a lot of it, if you've got I lived in a trailer once in my life for a couple of years, and it depends on how it's. And I remember redoing some stuff for it, and anyway, redoing floors and walls and that kind of crap. And some of them have steel ribbed bottoms. The ribbing across the bottom is attached directly to the frame that it can be transported with. It's steel ribbing that all that plywood or particle board or whatever they use is attached to. That's what makes more of a difference than the flooring itself, because that's the support. And if your beams are spaced out, only 16 to 20 inches, then your safe's not going to fall through. It depends. If it's wood beams going across there, then that's when you start running into problems. Or if the spacing between those cross sections there, those ribs, as I'm calling them, because I'm not a contractor, are more than 20 inches, then you have opportunity for warping and it just damage. And then plus that stuff gets wet from underneath all the time. You never know. So there's potential for damage there. So, I mean, Yeah, gun cabinets or smaller safes. And see that the problem with it then is it's going to cost more money, right? Like, you can do smaller, like 14 gun safes that should be just fine. They're not that heavy, and you're never going to load them up enough to make them too heavy for your flooring.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know, buying multiples of those start at like $200 and go up from there. Whereas you could just save some money and just buy a $500 or $600 36 gun safe. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to spend more money to store the same amount of guns if you're buying smaller safes. You're going to spend a lot more money. So that becomes a factor. And then you got to consider, well, then do you want to go gun cabinets as opposed to gun safes? It's obviously still more secure than leaving your guns around the house. The beauty of gun cabinets is they're much lighter. And also, because of the thinner material, you can pretty much bolt those to anything. You can drill your own holes and bolt those to pretty much anything in your house, any stud or beam or anything that you want to bolt it to, you can. So that there's some convenience there for what he's talking about. But you really need to know a little bit more about the flooring in your house, and then just kind of judge that accordingly, and then figure out how much money you've got to spend on it.
Now, over on the YouTube side, Vanessa Kitty's putting a lot of good information out here because she's in the process of putting something together. She says, ensure that you build a building. So if you're going to make a standalone man cave, you're going to make yourself a garage or shed, or you're going to expand on your home, ensure that you build a building with the per square foot loading for heavy equipment. Do not overload a floor ever. Solid point right there. And then she also mentions that she's building an office that's going to double as the ultimate man cave, her FFL office, which is very cool that she's working on that right now. She was talking about the size of it and everything. So check Vanessa's comment. She says, I designed a workshop that I'm building, 16 feet by 12 feet. It'll also be my FFL office, 11 foot high at the peaked roof. So yeah, you know, again, when you start to do the man cave thing, if you want to start to do the safes and you start to put a lot of weight in it, depending on your living limitations, depending on where you are, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to mess up your home because you're trying to build yourself a man cave. So yeah, what else do we have? Vandal's putting out all kinds of fun things here. Vandal's saying you got to have a red phone for receiving calls from the police chief. Definitely necessary. Yep, there we go. I've got a bunch of like craft brew metal signs hanging around. I've got a Yingling sign hanging up. I got a guitar over in the corner that I don't actually play. Another one. You got to have, if you're a sports guy, you got to have some kind of stuff to recapture the glory days. If you played any sports in high school, maybe a trophy sitting around, or let the kids know that you were active at one point or another. For me, I got a game ball that we all signed after we won state championships in '93. Yeah.
If you're in Nebraska, you've got to have an autographed Husker football or helmet from one of the
I got pictures. I got so much autographed Husker stuff. It's just, those are your heroes when you're a kid growing up. I mean, when you're a little kid growing up watching the football and stuff, because you have such easy access to that stuff. But yeah, you gotta have the sports memorabilia sitting around. That makes, I guess, the whole point of the question from the post that started this topic was interesting conversation pieces that you have in the man cave. We don't have a lot of. I mean, we have family come over and stuff, but it's not too often that people actually come in here, or people are going to have, kids come over. I block the door, don't want them coming in this room and stuff gets put away. But, the man cave is it's just fun. It's a fun place to go. There's a lot of good suggestions popping out there on the YouTube side. I don't know, man. We got some really good suggestions over there. So you guys have anything else you want to add about the man cave before we move on to the next topic? Anything else we should say about it?
I would say this.
Yes.
You ultimately, I mean, one very important thing is you've got to have your very own skull leader helmet.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a must have.
Yes, you gotta have. Like I made a comment earlier when they were making fun of I've said this on the Gun Channel side. The man cave is a place where I can come and still play with my Robotech toys. No, actually, this is bad. I've got kind of a partial toy room in the storage room that's just boxes full of toys. So just stuff that
get stuff out, man.
I know.
Get some shelves up on that wall.
I've got plenty of spaces for it. So we only had this layout for about the last 6 months, and so I'm still kind of figuring out. Yeah.
You got the gun safe behind you. What you do is you get the top cleaned off a little bit. You get some shelves going next to it, and you can get get some of the toys on the shelves next to it.
See, this is cinder block though. This is going to be a problem hanging stuff up. I have to just get like standing shelves. I really want to drill into it. Yeah,
you get some of those heavy duty ones, the metal and wood ones that you get, like you can get at Home Depot or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just get a whole lineup going. I maybe put one over here, put the pieces off on the side over there, and I'll put a shelf up here and just put all.
You get that Robotech helmet on top of the safe.
God, yes, God, definitely. And then just right next to it, we'll have the the skull one sitting over there too, right next to it. Just gotta have a little Robotech shrine. So this could be bad though, because then I'm gonna want to start go back and rebuy the collection that I had sold.
It will happen.
Years ago. So what's that?
It will happen. As somebody who has Metalhead on the way.
Yes. TMNT. I'll probably go back and buy that. So that I just played with it so much it fell apart. The old turtle toys and stuff, and having them outside, and you throw them off your bicycle or whatnot. But yeah, you gotta have the pride and joy of your childhood on display. So good stuff. Gotta love the man cave discussion. So if you don't have one, even just a corner where you can go sit and do your stuff, is pretty cool. There were a few comments over on the gun channel side where guys were saying that they had a wife and then they went ahead and don't have the wife anymore. Now they've got a 1,500-foot 3-bedroom man cave. So hey, man, whatever works with you, coffee maker, definitely a necessary one. Add some wolf or tiger frame pics on your wall. Nightwolf, we have those, not tiger pictures, but we've got some of the nature pictures with the retrievers and stuff in the other room. We've kind of got like a hunting theme in the basement, just a little bit. My wife, I need to take a picture of it. She's got a shelf in the TV room right around the corner here that has nothing but Supernatural pop vinyls on it. And then she's got Baby, the toy Baby that they released, the pop vinyl car, the Impala. And my wife, when it comes to pop vinyls, she goes and buys the ones that are some of like the Hot Topic store exclusives, or some of the foreign exclusives, like the certain paint schemes you can't just find at Walmart or like the comic book store. She'll get those. So she's got the regular Sam and Dean, but then from the Supernatural series, she's got like 20 other ones that are all just sitting there on the shelf in the other room. So, Squib, there was a question. The guns in your avatar, do you own any of those in your picture there? Do you own one of those pistols, one of those revolvers?
I've got a Walker, yeah.
Okay, because somebody was asking a question on the YouTube side. So do you actually have one of those? Okay, there you go. But do you have two?
Yeah, I've got the.
Do you have two?
No, but I think if I'm gonna go for that, I might get a set of Dragoons instead of Walkers. I mean, they're almost the same gun. Birdie makes a pretty decent reproduction. But I like
Squib, we got your robot in a little bit, buddy. Might have to have you hang on till you get a better signal on your phone. So we'll have you come back on that.
How about
there you go. No, it's cool.
All right, yeah. No, I like black powder revolvers. I like the old guns, either the reproductions or the actual, old guns. I mean, the new stuff is fine. I'm not against the new stuff, but I like the old stuff a lot better. So yeah, I've got a Walker, but if I decide to go for the dual rig there, I'd probably get like a second or third model Dragoon.
Now, Vanessa
a pair of them.
Yeah, they were asking about that. Actually, Vandal is saying Panzer Dragoons. Panzer Dragoons. No, not Panzer Dragoons. No. What do you? David says every room should have a large McDonald's sweet tea, or Chick-fil-A, or Whataburger. Any sweet tea is good sweet tea, right?
Oh, and don't forget the vodka.
Yes, Heaven Hill is the preferred brand. That's the official sponsor of the Mr. Matt channel.
I keep a bottle of Finlandia
every week. Making the magic happen every week. What's that?
I keep a bottle of Finlandia on my reload bench. It's never been opened. I don't really have any intention of opening it. It's kind of knick-knacky.
Don't be a hipster. Don't be. No, I'm just
no. I got it to go with my Finnish Mosin Nagant.
Mm-hmm. So right next to your home-brewed craft beer.
No, I'm not into that stuff.
Wax.
Okay. No. I am, but not the IPAs. I like the dark, bitter, chocolatey coffee microbrews, but I'm not the kind of person to go spend like $16 on a bottle. Matt, Texas produces some killer homebrews, dude. And
I am such a fucking redneck, just white trash alcoholic. I mean, look, seriously, I drink Heaven Hill and fucking Natty Light.
And look, I got a fridge full of PBR in the garage because that's my go-to after I mow the lawn. By the way, when you get a house, you can't do anything without having to go out to the garage and hit the fridge. But something about my taste buds, as you get older and you die, you need things that are spicy or bitter or kind of bold to even detect taste. And so I've gone for, and unfortunately, a lot of your big and commercial brews don't do a lot of those good, flavorful microbrews. So you have to kind of fall back. Plus, I'm 4 hours away from Colorado, which is like the microbrew capital of America. I mean, they've got so many friggin' breweries there that I've taken to it. I'm not like an elitist, dude. I'm more than happy to sit down for just a nice Bud Light or a tomato beer or whatnot, But I don't know. It's just weird about me with those craft brews. I got the fridge around the corner. So got just a whole selection of a bunch of different kinds. Plus, we got some good microbrews in Nebraska too. So it's whatever you want to make of it. I'm not against, the Heaven Hill side either. So, in fact, as I discovered in Tulsa, that stuff was fantastic.
I told you.
It's so good when it hits your lips.
$12 a bottle.
I'm bringing some back the next time I go down there. So, man, all right. How do we get on this one? I'm trying to think if there's any Modelo. Modelo's not bad. Natty Light. Yeah, that
just
works.
As long as it doesn't turn into a food chat.
Yeah, no, we're not going to let it go there. A couple things here about Vanessa Kitty. She's like building the ultimate. She's talking about tanning hides and making like leather goods, hats, mittens, and mucklucks at her workshop. Vanessa, you got to get a website launch when this shop is up and running. This could be like the premier go-to like gun store, whatever you're going to make it into, workshop out there. I mean, this is sounding pretty cool, man. Yes. Oh, that was another one that came up. Trophy mounts, taxidermy mounts. If you've got something, you got yourself a trophy mount, that's definitely a good addition to any man cave. I never have because there are taxidermists in Nebraska, but they're very, very expensive, which I understand. They're making a piece for you that you're going to keep out for the rest of your life. And two, these taxidermists are booked up. You're looking at like a 2 to 3 year wait on getting something done. If you want a deer mount or a trophy mount, it's amazing how booked up some of these people are. So I don't have any trophy mounts or deer mounts in the home, but that's something to consider too. Definitely got to have. That makes a nice conversation piece. So I don't know, Sandhills, any comment on that at all? Do you have any? You got any trophy mounts in your home yet or not? Actually, Sandhills, he's at work right now, so I'm not sure if he might be listening, but yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and shift gears on the conversation now. And as I said, today's discussion is based off of suggestions from viewers. This was from the Instagram giveaway post. I've got like 60 or 80 topics that people posted. So the second half of the discussion, we're going to change on this one a little bit, and we can give you guys a little bit of insight. Now, I did post, I'll put the link over here on the YouTube side for you guys in a second here. Rich White asked the question, 10 millimeter semi-auto versus big bore revolver as a forest gun. Okay. That's one that comes up because a lot of times you see the recommendation that 10 millimeter be used as your bear defense gun and whatnot. So first of all, I think you need to kind of look at what are some of the potential dangers you could encounter in a forest. Second, are we talking about hunting or just self-defense? And what I'm going to do is put a link to the ballistics calculator for Hornady over on the YouTube side and the gun channel side. If you guys click on this, you can look it up. I wanted to also take this topic into the idea of hunting with handguns. What do you think about it? Obviously, you have to follow state law. You have to make sure that you are, you're not violating it because, many times there's capacity limits to the firearms you can have with you during season. And if you're carrying your Glock as your sidearm because you want it as a backup or you need it in case you need to put the animal down with a second shot or whatnot, whatever, that could get you in trouble in some states because you're exceeding the capacity limit on hunting property during hunting season. Say you're hunting on public land or you're hunting in a game and parks area. So what we did with this chart is we went ahead and looked at it, and I was going to kind of use Nebraska as kind of the basic standard for hunting with handguns. But before we do that, let's go back to the question. Matt, what do you think about this? As a forest gun, would you rather go with a big bore revolver or would you go with the 10 millimeter semi-auto if you're going to go trek out into the woods? Say Colorado, Alaska. Put yourself in this extreme situation, Matt. What do you think? Should be still with us. He might be on the road. Oh. All right. So it looks like we don't have the panel. You guys still hear me at all? You guys still out there? All right. You guys over on the YouTube side, why don't you let me know?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I was kind of worried because I've had this chat timeout before. So you need to hang that ballistics chart in your man cave. Frank, I need to do that. I want to hang it up. I want to make a printout off of it because it's a 7-page manual that gives you all the Hornady ballistics. Now, that's not going to be representative of every brand of ammo, but that's going to give you a benchmark. And they're using fairly realistic barrel sizes. So, Squib, what do you think about this? The idea of the 10 millimeter versus the big bore revolver as a forest gun?
So, for hunting, if I'm got a hunting license and I'm actively going out hunting, I would rather go with a big bore revolver with the longest barrel that I can get. Now, if I'm just walking out in the woods, I'm hiking or whatnot, and I'm armed for self-defense, then 10 millimeters just fine, whatever it is. Typically, when I go down to our family's farm in Kentucky, and I go walking out in the woods, I'm armed. But I've carried something as small as a P64 in 9 millimeter Makarov out there, just to have something on me. You know, I haven't had to use it, but you never know. You just never know. So, but for hunting, I would go with the big bore revolver. You know, with 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch barrel, something like that.
Yeah, no. Okay, we got a suggestion: Smith & Wesson model 629 with an 1/8 and 3/8 inch barrel. Obviously, you're going to want the lengthiest barrel you could comfortably carry. You'd want a holster that's going to work with that, either like a chest holster if you've got a huge revolver going on. A lot of it really depends on what you're going to run into. So let's just imagine you're going to go off into the woods. Let's say your biggest threat's going to be, say, a brown bear. All right, maybe some sort of feral animals. You know, you got the idea. Now we got the argument of capacity versus just sheer power. Because with the semi-automatic 10mm, let's just take a look at the ballistics here. According to Hornet, a 5-inch barrel, 180 grain, 10mm at 100 yards is going to produce 402 pound-feet of energy. All right, and which is like, for those of you that might be Europeans watching it, we're talking about 545 joules, roughly, more or less, at 45 meters. Which is ironically the amount of energy that you're going to need. You need at least 400 foot-pounds to hunt deer in Nebraska with a handgun, right? So you're looking at 300 and at 100 yards, 357 pound-feet of energy out of a 10mm auto. Now compare that with the 44 mag, all right, out of a 7.5-inch barrel. If you run a 300 grain XTP bullet, you're looking at 706 foot-pounds of energy. Me, I want that takedown power, because what if I've only got one shot? What if I encounter a charging bear or a larger creature, an upset moose? I mean, if you read these stories about guys that go to Alaska, everything up in Alaska wants to kill you out in the forest, right? I'm all about, less capacity, more power in terms of takedown power when it comes to an animal. So Squib, would you agree with me on that? What do you think? At 44 mag, maybe 357 might be the starting point, or what?
I do agree with you on that. And so my philosophy on the whole thing is one shot, one kill. That's the way I was trained, and that's the way I still try to do things to this day. I'm not all about shoot until the threat is gone, because you're just pumping rounds into a carcass at that point.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are about capacity. A lot of people are about rapid fire. I think sometimes they try to make up for their lack of accuracy with capacity and rapid fire.
Sure.
And like you were saying, you may not have enough time to get off more than 1 or 2 shots, so you better make those count. But I would say, before I looked at the energy of the caliber, that sort of thing, is what are you most accurate with? What are you most comfortable with? What can you pull from your holster, point, and get an accurate shot off the first shot with best? All right, let's start with that. And then let's go from there. Okay, if you don't feel that that's got enough to take down a bigger threat like a bear, do you have anything else in your arsenal that you still feel that comfortable drawing and shooting and hitting with your first shot that does? Because there are some handguns I've got that I cannot hit the broadside of a barn with, and other people shoot them just fine. And then there's other ones I just point one hand, and it hits everything I pointed at. Just, I know it's me. It's not the gun. It's me. And I'm sure there's other people that have stuff in their collection that, they need more practice with. They need more and other things that just goes in there comfortable. So, I would say go with that, and then start looking at how much takedown power. But if you're in the woods and there is a chance there's bear in there, hopefully you've got something that 10mm 357 or above. Because I heard a story, I don't know if it's a urban legend or not, about some hiker out west, and he had a 38, and they found him half eaten and all 6 chambers empty in his 38. So apparently that didn't stop the bear.
Just kind of talking about the whole hunting and self-protection. If you want something fun to read, just some food for thought, go read the Alaskan hunting regulations, because they say, it's not always about like the shot placement is just as important as it is, for caliber. And they recommend up there, for hunting 338 Lapua and larger for hunting the big game up there. I mean, they say that, and you have to get, like with the Alaska Hunting Guide, there's like 10 pages dedicated to each animal that you can hunt, with all the regulations and what you have to follow, because a lot of that state parks, national parks, and you have to follow the regulations to the T. So it's interesting how large of a caliber they do recommend for self-defense. And that's a good point about the 38. You're going to go off into bear country. Now, another thing that's interesting, and isn't 10mm and 357, aren't they kissing cousins? or is it 10 close to 40? I can't remember. I'm not really good when it comes to case size, but 10 millimeter at 100 yards, a 5-inch 10 millimeter semi-automatic produces about the same pound-feet of energy as a 357 Magnum. So if you're like, oh, I want to get my woods gun, I'm going to go with the 357 mag. Maybe consider the 10 because you're going to get the same energy out of the barrel as a 7.5-inch 357. But you're going to have less capacity with the 357. My suggestion would be to look at the 44 mag. Now, the problem I have with 44 Magnum is that I've only fired it out of a snub nose, and it was probably the most painful revolver I had ever fired in my life. Every time you would pull the trigger, the shock would feel like you're slapping your hand on the table as hard as you possibly could. And it doesn't matter how you hold it. It doesn't matter, you know. And I was just shooting regular, just the standard ammo. I wasn't even shooting a hotter round out of it. So do you guys have any experience at all with the larger barrel 44 mag? Is the recoil reduced? Is the experience reduced a little bit when you're actually shooting it on a regular basis? Do you guys know?
In my opinion, it is.
Okay. Because Vanessa or Gunpowder Beauty was saying I'd love to shoot a 44 mag. I prefer 357 mag. That's one of my biggest. That's one of my favorite larger bore calibers to shoot because I feel like it's very accurate. I feel like it's controllable. It's comfortable. I struggled to get through the box of 44 mag rounds that I took to the range with that snubby. And it was, I mean, I just wanted to use them because I paid like $35 for the box of ammo. So I wanted to just burn through and try it, but I was still feeling it the next day. You know, for some people, maybe 44 mag doesn't bother them. Now, Squid, we were talking about the 40. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So, Travis, what you do is you get the 44 mag snub nose, and you load 44 specials in it. You train with that.
Yeah.
And then on occasion you fire 44, whatever your carry ammo is going to be.
Yeah.
You practice with that, you know, run a couple cylinders a couple cylinders through there, and just so you've got it, you know what it feels like. But use the 44 special because it's not going to kick as hard, and you're still going to be able to train with it, practice with it. Same thing with the 357 Magnum. You can run some really hot 357 Magnums in there, but you could just train with the regular 38 special target load and not wear out your wrists. Now, I've shot the 629 with snub nose, and I could feel the recoil, but I didn't really think it was that bad. But, I mean, I prefer something like a Super Red Hawk with an 8-inch barrel. I remember one time I shot a Sky CPX one-handed, and it hurt my hand. And then I picked up the Super Red Hawk, and I blasted away at it, and it felt comfortable. And I was talking to Sean Connery about that, and he said it's the weight. It's absolutely the weight. It absorbs that recoil. He said the Sky ain't got any weight. That's why that 9mm hurt your hand. He said some people don't mind the big heavy guns. If you can't lift that big heavy gun, I'd say work out, build up your arm strength, your wrist strength.
Yeah.
But if you don't like that big heavy gun, then you know maybe you need to go with a semi-auto or something like that. But that heavy gun will take up that recoil and make up for it. And you can also do other things like you can port the barrel and stuff like that. But a lot of people are turned away by heavy. They don't. I mean, I pick up in one hand a Desert Eagle, and I'm like, yeah, you know. And most people are like it's too heavy. Okay, whatever, man. You know, that's the weird thing is I'll hold a 9mm with two hands, but I'll hold like a 44 Magnum with one. It's just weird like that.
Well, I think it's just the way that the shock of it or the force of it travels through your wrist and your hand. Maybe it's just the balance of the gun, the sheer weight of the gun itself. I think that has a lot to do with it too. You know, we were talking about the 45. Now, Squib, you were saying in your state you have to have a straight-walled cartridge for handgun hunting. Is that correct? When you go
for Southeast Michigan, where most of the population lives in the bottom part of the state and the more eastern part of the state, you have to have a straight-walled cartridge under 1.8 inches in length. So, you know, 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, 45 ACP, something like that. If you go further north or you go into Upper Peninsula, you can have a bottleneck cartridge or whatnot. And on the west side of the state, I think it might be shotgun only or something weird like that.
Yeah. You know, when we were talking about the 45 ACP, you might say, well, I'll go with the 45 ACP because you think, oh, you know, displacement, you think sheer bullet size, which is important. But if you look at the velocity of 45 auto or 45 ACP plus speed at 100 yards, you're barely making 400 pound-feet. I can't talk this morning. Pound-feet of energy. So the 45 ACP might not be the way to go if you want that force gun. You might think, oh, it's got tremendous takedown power, but it does not have a lot of energy at 100 yards. You're losing a lot of velocity. You're losing a lot of energy. So our recommendation would be the 44 mag, because at least you have nearly double the, about 650, 700 pound-feet of energy at 100 yards. 45 Colt, even less, 366 pound-feet at 100 yards. If you're running a 255 grain, no, not even 225 grain bullet, then you can step up to the big boys. Now, if you guys ever fired 454 Casull, 460, 475 Limbaugh, do you guys have any experience with that at all?
I rented a 454 once. I barely remember it other than it was fun.
Okay. Matt, do you have any experience shooting any of the bigger bore pistols at all?
I've got a 500 Smith & Wesson and a 454 Casull and that kind of stuff. I mean, and I've never owned any of them. I have on occasion shot one. And I mean, they're for what they are, they're great. I mean, they're a lot of fun. I mean, it's not something you're going to go and train with at the range. You know what I mean? Like, that's not.
Well, once again, with that, you would load 45 long Colts in there for training and practice, and then you would use a 454 for your carry.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's in the moment, if you have to use it, because I guess it's all about the philosophy of what you're taking a handgun out there when you're hunting for. I don't handgun hunt. My handgun that goes with me is in case something gets just too damn close. That's the only way I'm pulling my handgun. So I carry I go back and forth. Sometimes I'll carry a 357 mag, and sometimes I'll carry my Glock 21. But again, I'm not shooting at anything with that unless it's, I'm not worried about 100 yards. What 45 is going to do at 100 yards. I'm worried what it's going to do at 15.
Right. I don't use 45 ACP out past 50 yards. I just don't.
Yeah.
And I know within that 50 yards, I'm going to hit the target and it's going to put it down.
Yeah. And but I mean, for what you're talking about, for me, carrying one of those rounds, carrying a 500 Smith & Wesson is, I mean, if I was somewhere where there was going to be like bears, that's absolutely what I would be carrying. Because you don't want to take any chances on something like that. Because in the moment, you're not going to be worried about your hand. Okay? Again, this is not a gun you're going to train with a lot. You're going to make sure you know how to shoot it. You're going to make sure you can handle it and that you know what to expect from this handgun. You're going to make sure you know how to safely use it. But this is a gun that you're going to pull out, and in that moment, you're not going to give two shits how much your hand hurts the next day. You're not going to care. You're not going to notice it. It's going to be holy shit. That's all going to be going through your head.
If you're at the range for 6 hours and you're practicing with something light, you're just practicing. But in the moment of truth, you got so much adrenaline, you're not going to feel the pain in your wrist or whatnot. And you're right.
Is somebody at a mass shooting right now? Yeah. It sounds like there's a lot of people screaming in the background.
Is that what it is, Squid?
Squid, what are you doing?
I'm inside a dome. These are all my fans.
Oh, okay.
See, Matt, you're not the only one with fans. It's just I got fans for different reasons. So you're cool and I'm a jerk. So we draw a different crowd for different reasons.
Rob D makes a great suggestion here. Most guns will work with bear if you also bring a slow running anti-gunner along. There you go. That's
nice.
Hey, it's kind of interesting. I was looking at the Tokarev. You wouldn't think about it. The 85 grain Tokarev round has 500 pound-feet of energy out of the muzzle. I'm kind of curious at it. Hey, that's not bad. I mean, that is a decent amount of power at the barrel, but I'm kind of curious.
It's not a very big projectile for like, I don't know if I'd want. I don't know. I mean, it's a smaller projectile. Like it's a very hot round. You've got a lot of energy, a lot of power coming out of that. But it's a smaller round.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see. I mean, deer, sure.
Possibility.
Then you step up to a hog. No.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a self-defense, not really a hunting.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned before, for Nebraska, you have to have 400 pound-feet of energy and 100 yards for deer hunting. So, that automatically pushes you up with a capacity of 6. And I don't know if you can modify a semi-automatic mag to be permanently 5 rounds, and that would legally work. Usually it's just any gun in its current state, not capable of holding more than 6 rounds. So you might be able to get by with the mag modification. But I would say if you're going to hunt, or don't rule out those Thompson centerfire contenders, is that what they're called? The single shot centerfire pistols.
Yeah, but now if you want to talk about hurting your wrist while you're practicing, that'll hurt your wrist while you're practicing.
I've fired one a few times, and my friend's dad has one, and I don't remember what we're shooting through, but it was an interesting experience. But you got that option too, if you're only going to need to do one shot. And that's like what we say. Well, you don't have to worry about, your wrist hurting the next thing, because you're not going to care when that bear's coming at you. Your primary thought is how fast can I get this gun out of my holster and take it down,
Here's what you do. You save yourself all the trouble in the world and just go get yourself a Magnum Research BFR in 4570, which is just, you've seen those, the revolver in 4570, and you're done. If you're going to be around bear, you got your 4570 lever gun, and you got your BFR on your hip. You're covered no matter what. You're not going over capacity limits or anything like that. It's only a 5-round cylinder, I believe, on the BFR. So you're good to go. Sure, it's like a $3,000 handgun, but who cares?
How about the FK Bruno? I was going to look up the ballistics on that, because we watch them in that. And the one video on their channel, they take down a small reindeer with it, or caribou or something. And that one video where they shoot it, the FK Bruno. Of course, that you'd have a 15-round mag or something like that, so you wouldn't be able to use that, obviously. But so just I guess a long and short. Yeah, go ahead.
What about using a Nerf Pua? Do you think that would be effective against bear?
338 Nerf Pua is one of the most
lethal rounds.
Yeah, you guys need, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to look up Travis P11 Nerf Pua, NERFPUA, and watch the tabletop review that we did on that bolt action rifle. That thing it's up there with the 17, what do I call it, the WSM or HSM-I round that we talked about, that 17 caliber round. Those are definitely the pinnacle of firearms development. So I highly recommend you check those out. Yep, Nerf Pua is awesome, definitely awesome. But yeah, just again, getting back to the idea of the force gun, my recommendation, I think you guys would agree, you want to go with something that's got the energy, that's got the takedown power. You might only have time to get off one shot. Once you start getting into 454 Casull, you're looking at 1,100 pound-feet of energy, or 480 Ruger, you've got 837 foot-pounds of energy at 100 yards, right? 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, 1298 at 100 yards. So that is some definite takedown power. So from there, you'd want to research, whatever rifle you want to, and decide to go along with whatever you want to do, Nightwolf, I can't say that live. I'm sorry, buddy. G17, you need a bigger gun. Yeah. I'm just trying to look at the comments here and catch up and see what people were saying. But again, 357 mag revolver or greater, 454 Casull, 44 mag. A lot of you guys joining in on there. Check the gun channel side here real quick. The Sky CP X2. It is a very uncomfortable gun to shoot, but you can get used to it if you put a lot of rounds through it. Just don't wear it out like I did, so it falls apart within 3 years. Just don't buy one at all. Just don't
stick to the 44 Magnum and just stay away from the Sky.
Yeah, there you go. That'll do the job. So, but again, if you're going to go 44 mag or any of these guns, I got to recommend largest barrel you can afford and stand to carry. That's just going to be my recommendation for it. So, and if you're going to be hunting with the handgun, I wish Tony was with us today. I don't know if he's on gun channels today, but Tony does hunt deer with the 44 mag, if I'm not mistaken. And, and again, don't forget, you've got your custom loads that you can make too. You can definitely make some, like Squib, do you have any idea what kind of ballistics your custom 44 mag rounds make coming out of that Henry?
The only one I did on the Henry, that 44 Special Plus P Plus Elmer Keith load that I found. I clocked it on Dusty's chronograph at 2,200 feet per second. So
okay, I gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, it's, don't forget, you start getting into custom ammunition. You can take a smaller capacity round and make it into something better. But again, it's kind of hard to get over the idea of displacement, just sheer mass, grain weight of the bullet and the size of the bullet, etc. So, man, that's crazy. So, anyway, guys, that's pretty much the topics for today. So I think we'll go ahead and just recognize the people that were joining us over on the gun channel side. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Again, these were viewer-suggested topics that came from the Instagram post, so thank you guys for the suggestions. We got a slew of topics. By the way, today is the 1-year anniversary of Caliber Corner. It was a year ago today that I decided to do Caliber Corner #1. Just do it one time. Just going to do one episode and chat with my friends. So it's just going to be a one-time thing, and then I was addicted to it, and here we are today, 43 episodes later. So thank you guys that have been loyal viewers. Thank you, panelists, for joining in. You guys are friggin' awesome. Over on the Gun Channel side, we got Plane Crash was joining us. Ozzy Osbourne is with us today, too. G-Webs is definitely out there. Squib is there. Squib is here. Squib is everywhere. And on the Gun Channel, or on the YouTube side, Sean Newman, hey, congrats. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll continue making more and more episodes for you. But remember, guys, sometimes I'm busy on Saturdays and we have places we have to go. Patriot in the Dark joined us. Vanessa Kitty joined us. She said, I've hunted with the Smith & Wesson 629 from rabbits to moose and bear. There you go. That's a very versatile pistol, a very versatile revolver. So, yeah. Beauty, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Good stuff. Scott Pacini was with us. Rob D, Midnight Range, Nightwolf, Just Dano. Who else we got here? A lot of other guys. 04 Hemi's with us today. Frank Hellman's with us. All right, thanks for joining us, Frank. Sean Newman. Calaveras 32 Specials with us today also. The usual crew hanging out with us. Thank you guys for joining in today. Otherwise, guys, that's about it. DF2 Dot was with us. Tar Dot was with us earlier too. And hopefully I didn't miss anybody's question. So again, you can always email us at thecalibercorner@gmail.com, and I'll try to put the link in the description for the video as soon as we get done here. All right, it's already there for you. Any questions you want to send to us, feel free to do so. Rob D, frowny face, I was late. Hey, man, you can always go back and listen to it. It's all good. That's why we do these early, so you can enjoy them the rest of the day. You can enjoy them when you're working on stuff around the house. You can enjoy them if you're on the road. Just go ahead and have fun. And that's why we do the podcast. I do them early so that you guys can enjoy them the rest of the day. So otherwise, guys, I think that's about it. Matt, do you want to finish up with anything? Mr. Matt, anything you'd like to mention, anything we should be looking for? We all know we got to go over to guntube.org and get accounts and get signed up over there. Anything you want to plug here before we call it? Okay, then. Fine. Be that way. No, I'm sure he'll come back. He's sometimes in some spotty zones for cell phones. Squib, anything you want to mention before we go?
There won't be any lock and loads on Monday night until June.
Okay.
Be advised, HVS is on the mainland. Oh, yeah. So hide your silver, hide your Bitcoin.
So if you don't know any idea what we're talking about, Hawaii Volcano Squad is a Gun Channels member who lives on the island where the volcano is what? Is it still going nuts today? It is,
but his reaction to it was, meh. I mean, he said a fissure open up, lava come out, burn a couple houses.
Until the lava pushes you to the beach, and then you realize you're in some trouble. You got some serious Joe versus the volcano going on here.
He was calling fake news on it. He's like, it's not that big of a deal. It really
I watched lava consume a Ford Mustang. Okay, that's not fake. You can't.
He's like, it's a couple houses in a sparsely populated neighborhood. This thing happens all the time.
You just live on top of a volcano. That's perfectly safe. Remember Pompeii? Worked out well for them too, didn't it?
Different kind of volcano, but yeah.
Man, whatever.
So, he wants to get some property along the volcano, but on the good side. So,
was that the side where the lava doesn't flow? Is that the other side?
I guess so, because the wind blows one way. I don't know how that works, but I'm not a volcanologist.
Yeah, so. the wind and the slope will push the lava that way. Sure, it's throwing 4-ton boulders up in the air and they're landing randomly, but I mean, you live in paradise. That's a risk for living in paradise. That's the chance you got to take, right?
We were doing an after chat. We were doing an after chat once, and Hashnazi was trying to explain to us how a volcano works. So it's kind of like you need a scientist to explain that stuff. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some good third-grade diagrams we can look up on Google if you want the basics of it. But no, I hear you, man. I hear you. So, Squib, anything you want to mention? Any other shows that you're doing, or what's anything we should
every other Friday? So that would be this coming Friday. Budget Guns and Gear review at 7 Eastern, and Friday Night Sights with Heavy B at I think 11 Eastern. I try to pop on Rick's Life as I see it on Wednesdays at 7 Eastern. He's got a show today at I think 3 Eastern, but I don't. This is the only weekend show I do. I'm busy doing family stuff all weekend, so I can do this in the morning, but that's it. And then sometimes I weasel into Hit or Miss Tuesday nights 9 o'clock, or other shows here and there. Last night I was on Edge of the Week with Edge 4006, so that one ran late, and Biker Bob joined us, and it just got a little weird and all that. So I'm always weaseling into somebody else's show. I don't have a show of my own because why I could just mooch off of you. So why not?
I mean, whatever works for you, man. Don't worry about it. It's all good, We do have something to mention. I do want to mention this. Yeah, we've got, don't forget to get your patches over at #Gear website. So here's the link for GWeb store. He's got tons of patches and stickers and all kinds of cool stuff over there you can pick up. You've got all kinds of neat stuff you can check out over there. Go to gearwebsites.com. Also, make sure you get over to Gun Channels, get your membership, get signed up. I can't preach that enough. Get yourself set up so you at least have an account so you can chat with the people in the chat, the 24/7 chat that we got going on. Just, you know, it's cool. It's a cool place to be. It's an awesome place to go. It's an awesome community. I've made a ton of friends from being over on gunchannels.com. Absolutely love it. So it's very cool. But otherwise, guys, I think that's about it. As for me, let's see. I'll be going to the range more often. I've got a range video I'll be dropping on Monday. School's about out for the summer, but I still do a lot of stuff with the high school and a few church groups over the summer too. So I am busy over the summertime, believe it or not. I just don't sit down and don't do anything, but I will be going to the range as much as I can. I've got a few guns I want to test. Got a new upper I'm going to be looking for the AR. I just haven't figured out what I want to go with yet. Actually, part of it is I'm waiting for PSA to have the upper I want on sale and actually have it be in stock, but I'm still torn if I want to go with the 224 Valkyrie or if I want to go with just like an 18-inch mid-link gas system, you know, kind of like what Midnight Range has. So yeah, I mean, with this, I'll just keep putting out videos like we always do. I do have just a warning. A couple weeks ago, I did do a food review video for something that's kind of hard to find. It's kind of cool. So that's going to be showing up probably next Wednesday, but I just did it for the heck of it because it was sitting there and I thought, you know what? There's no other videos on YouTube for this product. Let's make a video for it and just show it off. So that'll be showing up on Wednesday. And then next Saturday, we'll have another one. But I'll definitely be going out to the range more and more often. It was pretty messy when I was there yesterday because we had almost 2 inches of rain the night before and had the tsunami blow through. I don't even know. Is the tsunami a storm or is that a wave? I never know.
Hurricane, it's a tidal wave. They called it tidal wave up until the early 90s, and then somebody decided to go, oh, the natives pronounce it tsunami. So that's what we'll do.
Tidal wave.
It's a tidal wave.
We'll just call it the spring storm blew
back
through.
in the 70s. It was.
Yeah, I haven't had science since 1993, so that's terrible. But that's why I'm not a science teacher. No school, Travis P11. You can be on Sunday late chats. Of course, Midnight Range. That is the plan. I go to the range. I'm not kidding. I will go to the range 4 to 5 days a week in the summertime, and I made about 30 videos the last 2 weeks of August before school started. I was there daily filming, shooting. I was spending the whole day out there, and no, yeah, I try to use that free time as much as I can. I also have planning for my classes that I usually do in the month of June, and we've got some projects for around the house here we've got to do right away when school gets out. But yeah, more range footage coming your way. Squib, what were we gonna say, bud?
I think the term you're looking for is monsoon. And I don't know if you can hear that on the roof of the dome, but that monsoon you were dealing with, you sent it here.
Yes, it probably would be. Yeah, it would probably hit you about that time. So, it was nuts. I mean, it was just a usual spring storm. But, you know, when the first storm comes through, you're like, oh, it's done for the night. It's all finished. And then, like, the hail came in and the winds came in. And we got 2 trees on our property that we're gonna have the limbs dropped. And then my buddies and I are going to cut them up for firewood in about a week or two. And I was praying that those things would not fall over on the house. One of them's been dead for almost 2 years, and the other one just recently died. We've got elms that had Dutch elms disease when we bought the house. We didn't know. They had leaves on them. We bought the house in December. They started to bud leaves, and then they dropped everything. And we cut into the bark, and there's all these channels cut into the bark. So the trees are dead, and they're probably a solid 75 feet tall, if not taller. So, yeah, that's going to be a little project we're going to have to deal with. I'll probably end up doing a chainsaw review because I got a new steel that I bought. And we'll see if it performs. I've got a backup chainsaw in case I need it. But not going to be fun. Not looking forward to it, but you got to do it. So
your EDC chainsaw.
Actually, I keep it in the storage room down here. I won't leave it out in the garage. But yeah. EDC chainsaw. Heck yeah, man. You got to go that route. So Squib, you stay dry today. Everybody, thank you for watching today. It's been a fun episode. It was a great chat. I'll keep pulling more of the viewer requests, but if you have a specific topic you'd like us to discuss, just email it to thecalibercorner@gmail.com and we will take care of it. But in the meantime, guys, I think that's about it. So you guys have a great weekend. Get your weekend started. Get out there with your friends and family. Go to the range. Take a friend shooting, whatever. Drink lots of coffee. Guys, I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as always, we will talk to you soon. Should we say goodbye to Felicia or not?
Bye, Alicia.
Felicia. Adios, Alicia.